a blaxploitation movie bankrolled by a pimp, a disco Dracula film that embarrassed even Gloria Gaynor, a failed stuntman vanity project that hit theaters just as its star went to jail. These aren't just bad movies, they're the worst disasters the 1970s ever put on screen. This movie is so bad, it's practically legendary. Santa's sleigh gets stuck in the sand in Florida, so a bunch of kids gather around while he tells them the story of Thumbelina. It was actually a commercial for an amusement park in Florida called Pirates World. Look it up sometime. It had a wild history. It was actually successful for a while, but like a lot of theme parks back then, it eventually became a magnet for crime. The area around it got really bad, so it eventually shut down in 1975. Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny was the last movie ever filmed there, and it's barely its own movie. They actually shot 3 films at Pirates World: Thumbelina, Jack and the Beanstalk, and then this one, which just crammed in footage from those other 2 and called it a new film. So, yeah, just an insane project from top to bottom. A disco vampire movie. That's the pitch. Dracula's granddaughter falls for a disco guitarist and runs off to New York with him. That's the actual movie. This thing somehow lands in this bizarre space between trying to be serious and being completely ridiculous. It even has professional dancers and a theme song by Gloria Gaynor. Some of the extras in the disco scenes were actually dancers from Saturday Night Fever. Gloria Gaynor hated this movie. She only agreed to sing the theme song as a favor to her manager. Years later, she called the title corny, said the lyrics were dreadful, and that the whole thing already felt outdated when she recorded it. And yet, Nocturna has somehow become a weird, lost relic of the disco era. It never even made it to video, so you almost never see it anywhere. Low-budget, weird cartoonish special effects, stretches that drag a lot. But it also has plenty of gratuitous nudity, some genuinely funny one-liners, and John Carradine playing an aging Dracula. This is what happens when a stuntman decides he's a movie star. It's a full-blown Evel Knievel vanity project that wants you to believe he is some kind of modern-day saint, but the timing could not have been worse. Because while Knievel was out here playing the good guy, real-life Knievel was beating a guy half to death. Right after the film's release, Knievel and his crew attacked a promoter, Shelley Saltman, with a baseball bat, knocked him unconscious, shattered his arm, and pretty much destroyed his own career overnight. Knievel only did 6 months in jail, but he lost everything. His endorsements, his contracts, and any shot this movie had at being a hit. Warner Brothers had put $5 million into it, and it barely made back half that. And even without all that real-life irony, this movie is just a mess. Knievel teams up with Gene Kelly to take down Leslie Nielsen as a drug lord. The whole thing is just evil Knievel running around, inspiring orphans, fighting the mob, and giving anti-drug speeches. A-Bar is practically the worst 70s blaxploitation movie, and I promise you, whatever you're imagining, this is weirder. A black scientist moves into a racist neighborhood, and after dealing with a ton of harassment, he gives his bodyguard a special serum that turns him into an all-powerful superhero. A-Bar can do anything. Turn liquor into milk, make gambling dice turn into jump ropes, and at the end of the movie, he basically unleashes a biblical plague on white suburbia. But what makes this movie even crazier is how it was actually made. It was the brainchild of a Louisiana pimp and a white screenwriter. Part of it was shot inside a real brothel. They ran out of money before they could even finish and had to sell the unfinished film just to pay off debts. If there was ever a horror movie that did not need a sequel, it was Rosemary's Baby. But Hollywood's gonna Hollywood. So in 1976, they made this one, and it's bad. The plot follows Rosemary's son, Adrian, who's now grown up and not living up to Satan's expectations. He gets adopted by a brothel madam, drifts through life, and basically does nothing interesting. It's supposed to be a horror movie, but somehow it also tries to be a disco chase film. The whole thing is just baffling. And you know it's bad when even the actors regret being in it. Patty Duke, who plays Rosemary, later admitted she only did the movie for the paycheck.